G'day, Dave the Enlightened Plumber here with today's quote. There is all the difference in the world between having something to say and having to say something. There is all the difference in the world between having to say something and having something to say. This is from John Dewey. So let's get right in here. I have personally seen and experienced a lot of conversations over the years, whether they be family gatherings, work dues, idle chit-chat out in public places, restaurants. The places are endless, the conversations are endless. And it's more noticeable in excited conversations where people are happy to see one another. There's some interesting topic going on. And what happens is people, including myself, because I'm guilty of it, I'm a bit more conscious and aware of it now, but I'm still a sufferer of such things. So what I'm talking about is where the conversation's going on, and as soon as there's a gap, as soon as there's a break, someone finishes a sentence, but they haven't quite stopped talking. It's, hey, I gotta get in here and I have something to say. So the having to say something is a portion of people wanting to feel more important or feeling in their mind that, hey, this is going to add to the conversation. And it might. And that's where the difference comes in the words here, because we all may have something to say, and it might be really profound, might be really important, might truly help someone else. And then there's the saying the something without really kind of, so we can where are we going here? I'm getting lost in my own words. So there's the having something to say, which is I just want to spurt out whatever I've got. I've got this little tidbit of information. Someone needs to know about it, but it may or may not have any relevance whatsoever. Whereas the other thing is having something to say, which is profound, important, and there's a time and a place for saying that. So I'm looking at this in these conversations. There may be lots of different ways of looking at it, but how I'm taking this is more on the fact that although there might be a conversation going on, quite often listening is the best course, because that's the listening aspect here. Is I have two ears, so I'm supposed to listen more, and I've got one mouth. So the idea is that I'm listening more than I'm speaking. Another way of sort of saying this question here, or the statement. And with that, the concept of knowing when to speak, even when you have something to say, doesn't mean to say that you have to say something. And what I mean there is that just because I have the information and I am able to say it, doesn't mean that other people in the conversation also have access to that information, or maybe they don't have access to the information, or they do and they're going to come out and say it. So it's not a race or a competition. The other thing is, if I'm having to say something, then having that in my mind where I'm like, oh, I gotta say it, I gotta jump in there. Well, at that moment, as soon as I start doing that or having that thought of that's what I'm going on, I am now not listening to what else is happening in that conversation. So I might miss some important information that could be useful for me. There may be some other aspect. So, because a lot of times when I've gone into conversations, people are talking and they mention this and it's like, oh, hey, yeah, I've got this fact that would fit right in here perfectly, but that could derail the conversation. It could take the point away from where they're trying to get to. Some people that I have seen require a bit of build-up in their conversation to verbally build up the confidence to say what they have or what they want to say, or maybe ask a certain question to a group. And if someone else interjects that statement, or the having to say something in there, then other people get in on that conversation, and this person is kind of like lost, and so that point where they could potentially shine or blossom or get information out is now, it's just tanked, it's gone. And that's why this is very critical. So I've kind of splurged and gone a little bit around, so I apologize for being a bit loopy on this conversation, but it's a very important communication tool here. So I shall read the quote again and we will get done here. There's all the difference in the world between having something to say and having to say something. From John, Dewey, and myself, Dave, the Enlightened Plumber. Have yourself an awesome day. Listen a lot more carefully to others, and don't always feel that you have to jump in on a conversation when there's one going on. Listen, because there'll probably be an opportunity, and if you don't get that one, there's bound to be something better coming up. So with that, take care. See you on the next one.